Jonathan, fun right here. So obviously it's been a big couple of weeks for you. I think you were a new dad. You got a UFC contract on the Contender Series. So just how's life been as a whole leading up to this fight?
Yeah, man, it's been a big couple of months. Last 6 months have been crazy. It's been fantastic. Like externally, there's been a lot that's changed inside of my life, but on the inside, besides obviously my kid,
Yeah.
everything's been relatively the same. Been doing the same thing day in day out.
Is this your first kid?
Yeah, first kid, little boy, Raphael's his name.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Some fighters, they say when they have a kid, it changes their approach to fighting. Others, they say, it's no different. Just I'm going to a job, you just happen to have a kid at home. Has it been different for you at all preparing for a fight now that you are a dad?
As much as my life has changed, my approach to fighting is still the same. Like you do what you have to do, and outside of that, being a dad and stuff's a separate thing to fighting.
Do you feel the UFC is kind of already getting behind you? Because it's not every day we get like a new UFC fighter at a media day on a big pay-per-view. Oftentimes they'll have to debut in the Apex or a smaller fight night. So do you feel a bit of the UFC push already leading into your first fight?
Yeah, man, I've got to say I do. Especially I think because the Aussie fan, they'll get behind our guys, and I'm proud Aussie. And yeah, I am very lucky to be on here in Sydney. Man, this was exactly how if I was to write it, this is be the perfect script, and it's now a reality. So, yeah, really happy.
What did you make of Kevin's name when it came across your desk? Because obviously a fellow former Hex champion coming off a rough loss in his home country. So what are you expecting from him on Sunday morning?
Yeah, well, look, he's a dangerous opponent. He brings it. He can do it all. He can strike and grapple. But so can I. So I think it's going to be just an exciting fight. Wherever the fight goes, it's going to be competitive, and it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be a great fight, and it gets me really excited.
Are you the type of fighter that will watch tape on his opponent and kind of break him down, or do you leave that to your coaches and you just focus on yourself?
Yeah, I do like to watch it. Sometimes there's just little things, and as much as your coach can give you, when you're in there, just to take away a bit of surprise of things that you might see, you can see it in tape and film, and just by watching it yourself.
So Kevin, after his last loss, I think he posted a video of him saying giving an update, I'm sorry I lost and everything. And he said something along the lines of that the knee to the body from Brian just right out of the gate affected his entire fight. I'm curious if you saw that, and have you noticed any other things that you could take advantage of from Kevin?
I didn't know he actually said that, so thank you for that.
That was him.
A little bit of information. Look, there are things that we've taken a look into, what he does really well, what he doesn't do so well, and then off all that, I've just, I know my game better than anyone, so I'll try and implement my good stuff and not let him implement his.
So what does the headline read Sunday?
Hopefully a fight of the night bonus win on my behalf.
Most people want performance of the night. You rarely get you want a fight of the night, because that means it's usually competitive. So are you expecting a highly competitive fight of the night style fight from Kevin?
I come into every fight with this sort of mentality, and it's prepare for this, and then whether I get the finish that I'm expecting, I'm prepared for it and I'm ready for it mentally, because it can take a lot out of you, So if you're ready for it, nothing will surprise you.
And Jono, to your left. Now, mate, we've talked about this before, but can you put into words what it's like? I mean, you go back 18 months and you get finished on the regional scene, and the UFC must have felt like years away at that moment. But how did you sort of gather yourself? How did your team gather you to propel you to this moment now?
The same way we do with the win. After every win or loss, we sit down, we talk about what went well, what didn't go so well in the camp, in the fight, leading up to it, all these sorts of things, and then you go through it as a professional from there. Yeah.
And weird question, but when you weigh in, you often look like rocks wrapped in Glad wrap. There's not an ounce of fat on you. Have you ever been accused of taking anything?
Yeah, I have by a lot of people who don't know me, but if you do know me, and if you've been following me, I've looked like this since a very young age. So unless I was a 5-year-old on stuff, which I'm not, that would be the case. But I think just good genetics, and I'm quite a large welterweight, so I've got to shred down and lose a lot of fat. And
do you expect Kevin to be booed coming in on the weekend?
I don't. I think that we're going to get cheersed on both sides, and it's going to be loud. I expect it to be very loud.
And final thing, does the winner of this just keep the other person's hex belt, the regional belt you guys both had?
I'm going to have to speak to Kevin post-fight, but I only have one because I never defended it, so a second one wouldn't be so bad, or just a bonus, I think, would be. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I just want your thoughts and like a prediction on the main event between Duplessis and Strickland.
Yeah, I'm really mixed on that. Like stylistically a very interesting match. You know, you got Sean, who's very who's very technical. He's very composed and he's hard to hit. And you got Drickus, who's sort of like almost the opposite of that, and he comes forward and he's brings chaos. But I do think that Strickland's composure might show through if Drickus doesn't do what he does to everyone and take him out. Yeah, I'm a bit mixed.
Hey, Jono. A fellow welterweight MVP last weekend was infringing on your trademark of the captain. Do you have a message for him and something like maybe, no, I'm the captain now?
Yeah, well, on the other side of a win, then I think I'll be in a better position to talk to that. But yeah, that's my name. That's my name. Well, after this, I'll get back on him.
Is that a fight you could potentially see down the road?
Yeah, later on down the road. That's obviously something that's further down. I've still got a few fights to have before I even start calling names of that caliber, because he's a very good fighter. It'd be a tough matchup for me. But definitely something later on down the line I'd like to face.
Yes.
Jono, back here. You mentioned before that this debut for you, you couldn't have written it better. This has almost been like a fairy tale for you this far. What has to happen for the rest of this week to get the fairy tale ending?
All the work's been done. Everything that I can control, I have controlled. So it's just about making weight safely. And I'm already very close to weight. And besides that, performing on the night. You know, you can do all these things, turn over every stone and, you know, as they say, do everything leading up to the fight. But if on the fight day you don't bring it, then it's all for nothing. So it's just about, now I've done all the hard work and now it's about bringing it come fight day.
It was mentioned earlier about, you know, the UFC maybe getting behind you. It's not typical that a debutant will be doing these types of things. How are you finding fight week, and how are you finding all the extra things that come with being in the UFC?
It's different, but at the same time, this is something that I've dreamed of for so long, and I've seen so many videos and behind-the-scenes things of other fighters doing it. So it's like I've visualized it thousands and thousands of times. So like now that I'm here, it's almost like it's not new, you know. And also at the same time, I'm being here and getting this storyline fight that I've always wanted. This is an opportunity for me. So I'm going to make the most out of this opportunity to do everything I can to take me forward to the next few steps, and yeah, finish the story on and up.
And finally, from me, this is your UFC debut. This is, you know, people have seen you on the Contender, but still, this is now the world stage. What do you want people to know about Jono Micallef?
I'm a pretty like transparent guy, so I speak how I am. So everything that you get in my media, my Instagram, all these sorts of things is who I am. I'm a dad, I'm a fighter, and I'm a fighter who likes to perform every night, every time, and put on fights that are entertaining for the fans, for you guys. So, yeah.
Very much.